Here comes a new challenger!
Hello there everyone, and welcome to Fighter Pass 2 Predictions post the Sakurai Presents. Now originally I made the Kazuya one right after because, well, I kind of just felt it was right to do like early speculation before we saw what the Mii costumes were, and now that we have, here we are. So the deconfirmations of this time are Dante from Devil May Cry, Shantae again because she was already a spirit. But, I mean, then again, she was a base game spirit, so she definitely had another chance, but here we are, back at it again with another Mii costume. And then we have Skyrim's Dragonborn, of course, you know, Elden Ring, I believe it's called, the main series. And the other one we got was the one I made a video on, I was kind of expecting it, was Lloyd Irving. So, with all that being said, I find it quite interesting, the deconfirmations that we did end up getting. I mean, this one kind of hurt a little more, and not even for me, but I can tell, like, it definitely shook a lot of people, because usually with Mii costume waves we've had before, it was always like one or maybe even two characters that a lot of people really wanted from series that we didn't really expect to get in, such as, say, Cuphead. I know people wanted Cuphead. I know people definitely wanted like an Assassin's Creed character. We didn't end up getting that, you know. Now obviously we had Heihachi and now Kazuya, so maybe some of those earlier spirits could get another chance in the sun, but who knows, I'm not too sure. But we'll see what happens. After all, we do have one final character left, and I highly suggest watching the previous video in order to get context for a lot of things that I'm gonna say for right now. But as for who I think is the last character, I'm still on the Ryu Hayabusa train and nothing has swayed me. Speaking of Ryu Hayabusa, let's talk about something. So Verjaben, he spoke before E3 that, you know, he was basically hinting that Chief was coming to Smash. And I said in that previous video that, you know, he was talking about E3. People corrected me in the comments saying he never said it was for E3. He just has poor timing. But I had a feeling it was for E3. I had a feeling he heard it was going to be for E3 and that was going to be the reveal. You know, because it's different from, say, knowing a character's coming, right? Because if you know a character's coming but you don't know when, you could just say that. But considering the time frame, I kind of just figured it was going to be for E3, and I was right, as Verge has confirmed that he actually doesn't know who the last character is. What ended up happening, according to him, was that he was told by one of his sources that Chief was the next character. But Verge never got to his main source on time, and because of that, well, he ended up looking quite dumb calling it out without knowing his main source. And his main source didn't even know Master Chief was coming, let alone even hear any character that was coming for E3, or potentially as the last character. So as of right now, we're completely blind. And honestly, it makes sense. Think about it from this perspective. The funny thing that happened all of last year just seemingly caused a lot of leakers to just stop talking about, well, information. It just sort of stopped. Even Verge hasn't said anything from the past year, if I recall, outside of like Byleth at most. So we haven't had any like crazy info. Sometimes we do for like other games, but when it comes to Smash, we rarely hear anything. So I wasn't really surprised when Verge was wrong in this instance, you know. Now another thing too is that, you know, people were also commenting on what I said. Now I don't think it was in the last video, but it was in one of my Ryu Hayabusa videos where I basically said that Verge talked about Koei Tecmo and Koei Tecmo having, you know, something with Nintendo about Smash. Now, I said that, and people were like, oh, well, what connection does Sakurai have with Ninja Gaiden? He has brought it up in passing once, which is nice. He basically said, like, oh, during the Wii U eShop days, Virtual Console, he did get, you know, Ninja Gaiden, but that's as most as he's ever referenced that series. And when it comes to a lot of the franchises that he's talked about now, purely, look, the questions that he answers, he's kind of just forced to bring up those game series, right? He's talked about Minecraft before, he's talked about wanting Heihachi for Smash 4, etc. So, you know, considering that no one really asked about Ryu Hayabusa at all, it's not a surprise to me that Sakurai just doesn't answer those questions. And I mean, can you blame the guy? When it comes down to it, a lot of the, you know, characters are speculated now are kind of dried up at this point, if that's a word I can use. But no one ever seems to think of Ryu Hayabusa, which always kind of bothers me. Like, I always hear nowadays, who's left? Who can they add now? And I'm just like, oh my goodness. You know, maybe I'm just me. Maybe I'm just some weird, you know, 40-year-old man who just really wants Ryu Hay. Oh wait, I'm 21. No, I'm young, but even I can respect the franchises that, you know, really built up gaming, especially during the NES era of games. So it always just sort of bothers me that no one ever talks about other series like, say, Contra, for example. And here's the thing, guys, the reason why I made the Not Everyone Is Here series is primarily to discuss, you know, other franchises or even potential candidates for fighters in Smash, because when it comes down to it, Smash speculation is really just, oh, well, we'll just focus on this group of characters and no one else. And because of that, you know, speculation seems boring because no one ever wants to bring up ideas. I mean, if you dare bring up Ryu Hayabusa to someone, right, they'll probably say, oh, why would he be the last character? Or, oh, he's not recognizable enough. Or, oh, like, he doesn't have a legacy in gaming. Which, all three of those are completely wrong, but that's just how some people will talk about characters, and it's very unfortunate, but it's the truth. And so for me, Smash speculation, I've already made a video on this, is just sort of been dying. And also, it's kind of expected, but even during the Smash 4 era, it felt like there was so much more to talk about, because, you know, we also could talk about like first party characters, but not anymore. No, it can't, no more first party, no more, you know. And it's just become so boring at this point in time, right? Now for me, like I said, I'll keep doing the Not Everyone Is Here series until that final character drops, and you know, we'll see who that final character is. And hey, if it's one of the franchises I cover, that'd be great too. But at the end of the day, everyone, I just am not a fan of having to wait this long for this next character. Because I get it, Kazuya just released. We should all focus on Kazuya, yes. But I kind of just want to end it. I wish they showed both characters at E3. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I'm getting tired of this speculation cycle. The last thing I want to mention before I end off this video is that I wonder what that content will be in between the final character and the Mii costume we got as a bonus for this pass. And for those who don't know what I mean, I already talked about it in a previous video, so check that out. But essentially, we should be getting something bonus related, be it a bonus fighter stage, whatever the case may be. And Sakurai did mention, you know, this next character possibly going to take a little longer than usual because they have to finish the characters at home due to the funny. So my prediction will be that they will show off 2 characters for the end of it, maybe. That's my prediction. As for who the 2 characters are, I don't know. I just hope one of them is Ryu. If it is 2 characters, it could also just be 1 character and that's it. I know Sakurai said, oh, this is the end, and you know, considering he's finally said it in a presentation, I actually don't doubt it anymore, because previously when he would say it, it's always in interviews, but now that he actually said it in an actual presentation, I believe it. But you know, he could just throw in 1 more character if he really wanted to. Maybe it's an Echo, or maybe it's stages. I would like that too. Anything to fill in the black voids that'll be left behind by this last character. Oh boy. But yeah, those are my thoughts, and I'd like to hear some of yours. With that all being said, please take care of yourselves, and as always, have an amazing rest of your day. I hope that you guys are doing well. Subscribe! I can't forget to say that too. You know, I'm a shill to 1,000, and then after 1,000 I'll keep shilling even more, because that's how YouTube works. That's the game. Speaking of games, I should go back to playing some more Kazuya. You know, it's a fun character. So anyways, peace.